Researchers just made a shocking discovery about one of the only 5 Earth quasi-satellites ever discovered by humans. Here are the details. A new study published recently in the journal Communications Earth and Environment casts new light on a strange 50-meter-wide rock that is one of only 5 known quasi-satellites that orbit the Sun while staying close to Earth. Earth's gravity affects the orbits of these quasi-satellites, and they circle the Sun in a year like our planet, but they don't orbit the Earth itself. Yet, these unique asteroids do stay in sync with Earth as they orbit the Sun. The study shows that the only one of these quasi-satellites that can be observed via strong telescopes, called 469219 Kamo oalewa, was the same color signature as rocks brought back from the Moon by astronauts 50 years ago. Researchers believe this rare color similarity, combined with the object's unique orbital plane and slow speed, points to the likelihood that the object used to be part of the Moon's surface. If that is the case, the most likely way in which the rock departed from the Moon would have been if a much bigger asteroid smashed into the Moon, breaking the rock off from the surface and flinging it into space. The Chinese National Space Administration has designated 469219 Kamo oalewa as the target for a complex mission to collect and return samples from an asteroid. The organization says it plans to launch the mission in 2024, aiming to arrive at the space rock in 2025. Scientists discovered that an ancient city near where the biblical city of Sodom would have been was destroyed centuries ago by a meteor that exploded above the city and burned it to a cinder. Here are the details. In a study published in the journal Scientific Reports, researchers showed that the ancient city of Tal el-Hammam was struck by a massive airborne explosion with the power of 1,000 atom bombs. The city was completely destroyed by the resulting firestorm and pressure waves. Its remains are located in Jordan, near Israel's Dead Sea. Researchers believe the fiery explosion from up high struck around 3,600 years ago and might have given rise to the story of Sodom, which, according to biblical text, was destroyed as punishment for immorality. The scientists say evidence strongly suggests that the city was struck from above by a meteorite mostly composed of ice, which exploded in the air because of very high temperatures caused by friction in Earth's atmosphere. City dwellers who saw the explosion would have been blinded instantly. Clothing and wood burst into flames immediately. Swords, spears, and mud bricks melted as the city was engulfed in flames. The shock wave that followed blew apart the buildings, causing charred bricks to rain down on villages many miles away. The researchers said none of the 8,000 people or any animals within the city survived. Their bodies were torn apart and their bones blasted into small fragments. A minute after the explosion, the shockwave reached the city of Jericho, 22 kilometers away. It blew Jericho's walls down and the city burned to the ground. The soil around Tal el-Hammam was also drenched with salt and could not be farmed for hundreds of years. NASA created a fictional asteroid and set it on course to hit Earth 6 months after being discovered by humanity's early warning systems. Earth's scientists worked together to stop the doomsday rock from hitting Earth, and this is what happened. NASA reports that it recently hosted a test to see if Earth's best scientists could stop an asteroid from hitting the planet. In the scenario, a fictitious asteroid was detected 6 months before it would hit Earth. The participants in the simulation considered various missions in which spacecraft could try to destroy the asteroid or deflect it off its path. Most options to deflect an asteroid, such as deflection via a high-energy impact or a gravity tractor or an ion beam shepherd, work by only slightly nudging the targeted space rock. If performed far enough in advance, that small nudge builds up to become a large shift in position by the time the asteroid gets near Earth. But participants concluded that such missions wouldn't be able to get off the ground in the short amount of time before impact. However, they found that using a rocket to deliver a nuclear explosion on or next to the asteroid could save the Earth. Unfortunately, a nuclear bomb would only be able to make a difference if the asteroid was relatively small compared to the giants that had hit Earth in the past. Currently, Earth's early warning system does inspire confidence. Comet Neowise, a 4.8-kilometer wide chunk of space ice, passed within 64 million kilometers of Earth in July. Nobody knew this comet existed until a NASA space telescope discovered it approaching only 4 months earlier. In 2013, a meteor about 20 meters in diameter entered Earth's atmosphere without warning. It exploded over Chelyabinsk, Russia, creating a shock wave that broke windows and damaged buildings across the region. More than 1,400 people were injured. An enormous comet from the outskirts of the solar system is heading towards Earth. Comet Bernardinelli-Bernstein is 1,000 times larger than the average comet, and it's approaching at a high rate of speed. Here are the details. Live Science reports that a huge comet that's so large it's classified as a minor planet has been spotted beyond Uranus and is coming toward Earth for a very rare visit in 2031. Comet Bernardinelli-Bernstein is still far away and hard to see, but the current estimate is that its icy core is around 100 kilometers in diameter, which is extremely large for a comet. It'll make its closest approach in 2031, when it'll sail just outside of the orbit of our Sun's sixth planet, Saturn. Normal long-period comets take more than 200 years to complete an orbit around the Sun, but this one is estimated to take a whopping 5.5 million years to complete its orbit. Comet Bernardinelli-Bernstein comes from the Oort cloud, a spherical cloud of icy objects framing our solar system at around 50,000 to 100,000 astronomical units from the Sun. That's 100,000 times the distance from Earth to the Sun. Scientists estimate this comet could itself be from as far away as 60,000 times the distance from Earth to the Sun. Like all comets, this one will round the Sun and head off back to where it came from. Another comet that might have originated in the mysterious Oort cloud is Halley's Comet, which is visible from Earth every 75 years. Halley is therefore the only naked-eye comet that can appear twice in a human lifetime. It last appeared over Earth in 1986 when it stood out clearly in the night sky. It will next appear in 2061. If you manage to develop an anti-aging diet or create a time machine, or in some other way manage to be alive and on Earth on the Tuesday afternoon of September 24th, 2182, then there is a chance that you might be looking up to see a big asteroid flashing down towards Earth. Here are the details. NPR reports NASA scientists calculated that asteroid Bennu has a higher chance of hitting Earth than previously thought. The scientists used new data from NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft to make a more precise calculation of Bennu's orbit. That spacecraft managed to snatch a sample of dusty pebbles from the asteroid in October last year and is currently on its way back to Earth to drop off the precious cargo. NASA found that the single likeliest impact moment would be on the afternoon of September 24, 2182. On that Tuesday, Bennu has about a 1 in 2,700 chance of hitting Earth. An impact would pack the energy of more than 1.1 billion tons of TNT, roughly 2 million times the energy of last year's devastating port explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. The NASA team reached its revised estimate by pinpointing Bennu's distance from Earth to within about 7 feet at dozens of times between 2019 and 2020. That level of precision is like measuring the distance between the Empire State Building and the Eiffel Tower to within a few thousandths of an inch. The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft arrived at Bennu in late 2018 as NASA's first, and humankind's third, attempt to sample the surface of an asteroid. The spacecraft managed to successfully snatch a sample in October of 2020 and is currently on its way back to Earth with it. Before grabbing the sample, OSIRIS-REx spent nearly 2 years orbiting and studying rubble-strewn Bennu.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.